Standing By. The Terry and Ted podcast is brought to you by the UPS Store Canada, now with over 400 locations across Canada.
Hi. I still haven't figured out how to start these things. Welcome to the Standing By podcast. I guess that's not a bad way to start.
That's pretty good. How did you used to start the radio show?
I'd say good morning.
Yeah, 5:38. I'm
Yeah.
Terry DeMonte.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's early.
Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, or whenever you're listening to the Standing By podcast. As I say every week, we're absolutely thrilled that you've downloaded the podcast. This one for Wednesday, February the 11th, 2026, brought to you by the UPSstore.ca, our friends at the UPS Store, with their 400 locations all across the country, are easy to find. What you do is go to the UPSstore.ca, and you'll find everything that they have to offer, including where the locations are near you. One of the things they offer are mailbox services that help meet your needs for mail delivery and package receiving. It's a street address. It's not a P.O. box number, because I know a lot of people say, well, I don't want to get a mailbox from UPS because it's a P.O. box number. It's not. It's a street address. Because if you're ordering things online, they won't send it to a P.O. box. UPS has got that covered. They figured that out. There's also a small business blog online, the location finder, as I mentioned. And right now, you'll find the deal on shipping is ground shipping. The 30% discount is still in effect until the end of June. You can save up to 30% on shipping across Canada. The details are on the website. The details are also at your local UPS store. The UPSstore.ca, find one of the 400 locations near you. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did.
And did you enjoy the game? Because I thought it was rather boring.
I loved it.
You did, eh?
I loved it.
Wow.
Because I like defensive football.
Oh, you like the defense?
Yeah.
Okay.
My favorite football player of all time, Lawrence Taylor, was a linebacker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love good defense.
Yeah, but at the end of the half, it was, I don't know, 6-0, I think.
Yeah, but the defense was great. That's why it was 6-0.
Yeah, I
know. It was great defensive football.
Yeah, and that Seattle was kind of known for that this year.
Yeah.
And I think Drake,
absolutely dominant defense.
I think Drake May is going to have his day, but last night was not it.
No.
Yeah, we're by the way, we're recording this on Monday, the morning after the Super Bowl.
No, I love good defense.
Yeah.
And it's the old story. Offense sells tickets.
Yeah.
Defense wins championships.
Yeah.
And you look at over the years, over the decades, there are multiple, off the top of my head, I wrote them down, so it doesn't seem like it's off the top of my head, but I wrote them down as I thought of them.
Yeah.
Famous defenses in the NFL. Chicago, 1985, the Monsters of the Midway. The New York Giants' Big Blue Wrecking Crew. Minnesota's Purple People Eaters. Denver's Orange Crush.
Jesus.
The LA Rams' Fearsome Foursome, the Doomsday Defense from Dallas, the Steel Curtain from Pittsburgh.
Oh, I was going to call it the Iron Curtain. That's another thing, eh? Remember the Iron Curtain?
No. All these great championship teams had great defenses. Mm-hmm. Give me a famous offensive nickname from the NFL. There you go.
Right.
The only one I could think of off the top of my head was The Greatest Show on Turf, the St. Louis Rams from the late 1900s.
Really?
Yeah.
Late 19. So you know your football history.
Yeah. But I mean, it's, defense is what wins.
Yeah. Well, in case you're wondering what we're talking about, it was the Super Bowl, this Super Bowl 60.
Yep.
And the Seattle Seahawks won. I was kind of glad for the Seahawks because we lived in the Pacific Northwest for a little while, and we had a little bit of an affinity with the Seattle sports teams, the Kraken, the Mariners. We got to Climate Pledge. We got to T-Mobile Park. We never got to see the Seahawks, but I was glad they won. Did you watch the halftime show?
I did not. I took the opportunity. I watched the first half at Playground.
Yeah.
And then I took the opportunity I knew that the halftime show would be longer than a normal halftime.
Yeah, it was.
So I wanted to drive home and watch the second half at home. So I skipped the halftime show. So I missed both halftime shows.
Oh.
I didn't watch either one, so I don't have to forward an opinion on either one.
Okay,
I don't know. Don't ask me. Didn't see it. No opinion.
We watched it, and for the first couple of minutes, I was like, I don't know what this. When it was done, we loved it. We thought it was really, really good. I didn't approach it, as you know, I don't approach it. I approach a lot of things. I try to leave, politics and yelling out of it. And I thought, okay, let's see what the halftime show looks like. And I thought it was pretty good. And just as a note, it was the most watched most watched halftime show of the Super Bowl in history. They say close to 136 million people watched it. And you probably know it was Bad Bunny, and there was a lot of politics around the decision that Bad Bunny would be doing the halftime show. I didn't care about it. I watched it. I thought it was really well done. And I thought to myself, this cost millions and millions and millions of dollars. The amount of people that were on stage was unbelievable. You watched the game at Playground?
I watched the first half at Playground and the second half at home. As I was leaving, I waited for the halftime show to start. And as I was leaving, I noticed that all the 20-something people in the room, Playground had a big Super Bowl party, all the 20-something people in the room, which primarily was the people who were working there, who were managing the event and the wait staff, they all stopped and gathered in front of the screen. They were locked in.
Yeah.
That demographic was completely locked in on Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
And as I walked by them, I went, that's not Bugs Bunny. I'm out of here. And they laughed. Old Man Bird went out with a laugh. Got an applause break.
Excellent. And how was your experience at Playground, Mr. Bird?
It was
for
terrific.
The Super Bowl?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It's just such a great facility. And they had a full-on buffet. I met Nick and Mario, Nick from Pancor and Mario from NDG. When I was at the buffet, they went, hey, it's Ted Bird. And I was there by myself. So I thought, okay, you guys are my new best friends.
Yep.
I'm sitting with you, so I don't have to sit by myself. So I watched the first half with them, and great guys, old Chom fans, and now hopefully new fans of Standing By the Terry and Ted podcast.
You told them about the podcast?
I did, yeah.
Good, okay.
Yeah. Told them I'd give them a shout out, gave them the link. How do I find that? Well, you go on the interwebs. Yeah, what time is your podcast
on? So Playground was a great experience as advertised.
As always, yeah. And I'll be back tomorrow night, February 12th. I'm taking Allie, my daughter. She's celebrating her 18th birthday, or she did on Sunday. So I'm taking her to Playground. I'm taking her to the steakhouse.
Okay.
For dinner.
Nice.
And then we're going gambling. And
nice.
She has informed me that anything she wins, she gets to keep.
Okay.
Because it's her birthday. Check them out online at playground.ca. It's a terrific spot on the 138 in South Shore, Ganawage. The strip without the trip, they call it.
Speaking of sports, I saw you wished Don Cherry a happy birthday, and I thought we should do that on the podcast. He was turned 92 this past week.
92 years
Good
young.
for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said on the post that he was, no one's been done dirtier that I can think of.
Absolutely.
In
Couldn't
this
agree with you
country
more.
in the last 10 years. And the overwhelming majority of people who responded to the post agreed with me. There were a handful of, no, he's an old racist and he's an old dinosaur and his time had come long before, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's funny that we have that, excuse me, we have that culture in Western society. I know in Eastern, like in Asia, people who have experience and have lived a long life are revered.
Yeah.
And here you're a stupid old piece of shit. Thanks. Okay?
That's fairly recent, though.
It is.
Like, we were not like that. Our generation was not like that. But we grew up, our elders were the guys and women who won World War II.
And you wanted to seek advice from them, and you wanted to hear the stories.
You wanted to be mentored by them.
Yeah. My grandfather used to say, when I asked him about the war, he always said, peeled potatoes.
Yeah.
Instead of talking about it. Anyway, happy birthday to Don Cherry, and I agreed with Ted's point of view. He's a guy. How did you put it again? Not hard done by, but
done dirty.
Done dirty.
He was done dirty. Yeah.
Hi, Sam.
Hey.
Sorry. Ted's son, Sam Bird, is here, and Ted said to me last night, can Sam join us on the podcast? I said, why not?
It's Nepotism Month on Standing By, the Terry and Ted podcast. Terry's wife, Jess, will be on in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
So we thought we'd have Sam in today because he was in town for Allie's birthday.
Yes. Sam.
He comes to town for everyone's birthday except mine.
Oh, don't take it personally.
I thought about that when... Well, you mentioned that when it was your birthday a few weeks ago, I commented on your Instagram post because you were out for dinner with Allie and Charlie, and I said, sick invite. And you said, I'm the only one whose birthday you don't come to town for. And I was like... Oh, it's true.
Well, I'm stuck in a bad place because he comes in for Christmas.
Yeah.
My birthday's on January 20th. Allie's is on February 8th.
It's the January thing.
Yeah.
You and I have talked about this because I'm January 3rd.
Yeah.
Everybody's broken.
You get lost in the shuffle. Yeah. And
yeah.
I would rather that he be here for Allie's than for mine. I get it. Yeah. I'm not that offended.
Did you watch the Superb Owl?
I did, yeah.
You did. What did you think, Sam?
I liked it. Personally, I thought it was a boring first half.
Yeah.
I don't, one team punts, another team punts, that team punts again.
You're not a defensive fan like your dad?
No,
me neither.
But I understand where he's coming from.
I do.
LT being his favorite player of all time.
Yeah.
When I played, though, I played on offense, so I always had a love for high-scoring games, stuff like that.
You played for John Abbott, and you played for Loyola.
I played for Loyola. I dressed for John Abbott.
You were on special teams.
Yeah, I was on kickoff and kickoff return, and then I'd have to get a real workout in after the game.
Yeah.
But I played at Loyola. I started and whatnot. And
you were outstanding at Loyola, were you not?
I guess.
I know you're very humble and you wouldn't like to brag, but you had a good run.
I did, yeah.
The very last game you played, you scored a touchdown on a long bomb, if I recall.
I think I was called down at the 1.
Really?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
that
too
was,
bad.
That's
It was
okay.
a great catch.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a great way to go out.
Yeah.
You went out in a blaze of glory at Loyola.
Yeah.
Now, did you watch the halftime show?
I did,
And so what's your take on, how old are you, Sam, now?
26.
I nailed it. Jess asked me last night. I said, I think Sam's 26.
Mm-hmm.
And the Big Bunny affair?
I really liked it.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too. What did
Were you
like?
a fan to begin with?
I wasn't necessarily a fan to begin with.
Yeah.
I think he's a really cool guy, and he carries himself with a certain amount of swag that I think is really respectable and really inspirational. The people that I was watching the game with are big fans of Bad Bunny, so
it was a big deal.
it was, yeah. And I think our whole friend group was pretty locked on the screen when he was on there. The production itself was so cool.
Production was astonishing. It was so good, and I have to admit, I was with a bunch of 50 plus people, with the exception of my wife. But us too, we were all locked on the screen and kind of mesmerized by it. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, couldn't understand a word he was saying.
No, me neither. But I didn't think that mattered. Did you?
No, not really. I think just you could tell like the emotion that he was singing with, and the crowd and everything, and I think it was really cool. And all the cameos were pretty cool. Also, I don't know if you guys picked up on that, but
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, Lady Gaga was there. Jessica Alba was there. Pedro Pascal, and some younger celebrities like Alex Earl is a big name. She used to date a guy, Braxton Berrios, who used to be on the Dolphins, now is on the Texans.
Okay.
They broke up, which was a huge deal.
Was it?
And then she was spotted out with Tom Brady.
Oh,
which was also a huge deal.
So,
So she was there. Yeah.
I like what the NFL did last night with they had Brady, Peyton Manning was there, Joe Montana was there.
Don't forget Eli.
Eli was there. Lynn Stallworth.
Lynn Swan.
Thank you. Was there. And I like the way the NFL acknowledges their history.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. And they did a. Did you see? You probably didn't see it because you were at Playground. The opening of the NFL Films crew, I think, did the opening of the Super Bowl, and it was really great.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Did you see it, Sam?
I don't think was that around like when Green Day went on.
It was. Was it just before or just after Green Day? Anyway, it was the typical NFL film storytelling about the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
And Joe Namath closed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Joe Namath now has Jurgen Klopp teeth. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
You know the Trivago guy?
Yeah.
Joe Namath has
looks
those
like
teeth.
he swallowed a piano. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the fact that Big Bunny was playing the Super Bowl, that was not a controversy in your demographic. I'm
In my
guessing.
demographic, no, they loved it.
There's our pause. Have you been watching any of the Olympics?
No, I have not. I'm waiting for the hockey.
Yeah,
that's really all I'm interested in. Is the.
I watched some of the snowboarding yesterday with my buddy Blair and his wife Karen, and we were saying it was fun to watch the snowboarding, but we don't understand any of the, that's a 1080 twirl with a
I don't understand
truck driver
that.
pick nose thing.
And I'm not big on any sport that is won via judging.
Yeah.
I want there to be a clear-cut winner or loser. You know what winter sport I've never gotten is curling. I don't understand the first thing about curling. Do you?
When I moved to Manitoba when I was 20, that was my first exposure to curling, because in Manitoba, in every town, there might not be a store, but there's a curling rink. Like in every different size town across Manitoba, there's a curling rink. And in that curling rink, people go curling on the weekend.
Right.
And really,
you did that in quotation marks. Does that mean they go and stand under a portrait of the Queen and drink whiskey?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, they curl, but there has to be a bottle of Crown Royal very close by.
Yeah. Have you ever curled?
I have. I've tried it.
That is the hardest, easy-looking thing to do that I've ever experienced in all my life. It looks easy, but it's not. It's hard.
Yeah, there's a real touch to it. I guess that's why they call it curling.
I fall down or pull my hamstring when I try to do the push the stone down the thing, and you're on one knee, and then all the sweeping.
You'd be a good color commentator. You're pushing the stone down the thing, and now they're sweeping.
Phil Shushat, who's the co-owner of the Comedy Nest, along with David Acker, had one of my all-time favorite jokes. He said, the Israeli curling team at the Olympics is made up entirely of Filipinos because that's who sweeps for the Jews.
Great. Sam, are you a curling fan?
No, but I've watched it, here and there, and I kind of get locked into it, but I don't go out of my way to turn curling on.
Right. Nobody's having a curl. Well, I shouldn't say that. Maybe some people are having curling parties.
In Manitoba, they probably do.
You're probably absolutely right.
Yeah, because curling is like those who love it a lot.
Yeah. Sam, tell me about Toronto.
Well, we got a lot of snow this year.
You sure
and
did.
It's really cold.
Yeah. Thank you.
So,
back to you.
Yeah. Anything else? No, it's great. I always tell people that Montreal is always going to be home. It's where my family is. It's where my family's probably going to stay. But Toronto
I'm
is...
moving in with you.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah.
I didn't mention that.
We got a pull-out couch just for that reason. But Toronto is where I see myself being much more established. It's where I see my career of taken off. And to a certain extent, I think it already has of like the brick by brick, it's happening. Yeah. So it's great. I've gotten a lot of opportunity in Toronto to do the stuff that I love to do. And it looks like there's going to be more of that if I just keep, doing the next right thing.
How old were you when you went out there?
21.
21. And you started as, I think, was it the intern at the movie place?
Yeah, I got an internship at Elevation Pictures, which is a film distributor.
And that led to marketing.
Yeah,
content creation.
Content creation
for an advertising agency.
Yeah, I had always, I'd say about a year into my move, I started making TikToks or Instagram videos and whatnot while I was interning. And then the internship turned into a little part-time contract, and I kept doing content on my own, which eventually led me to a job at Kraft Heinz, or the agency for Kraft Heinz, where my title was content creator for Kraft Dinner.
So they hired you based off what they saw on your social media?
Yeah, I had enough of a portfolio put together.
Did you apply, or did they see you and call you?
I applied. Okay. That one I applied for. And then I was there for about a year. And I'd say a few months into that is when I really had a good portfolio built from personal stuff and from stuff with craft. And then that's eventually when CBC found me through like a viral video I made. And then so that one I did apply for it, but I was found through my work, and that's how I landed this gig.
And the current gig is you are one of the co-hosts of CBC Street Sense, which is a big brand name for CBC. That program's been around for a long time, and now it's been rejuvenated and started again with you. And who are your other two hosts?
Hannah is one of the other hosts.
Yeah.
And then currently we have a host, Leanne, who's backfill for our other host, Serena. Mm-hmm. Serena is currently working on the Olympics for CBC.
Okay.
So Leanne is filling in for the time being. But those are the three girls that also host it.
So for people that are listening that, excuse me, I'm sorry, people that are listening that listened to us on the radio in the 1980s, the landscape has changed, and I find it fascinating. A lot of what appears as opportunity comes from social media now. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
And is it just in what you're doing, or is that true of most things other than, say, if you want to be a lawyer? I guess that doesn't, if you want to be a
this
lawyer.
Guy was pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's hire him to defend us in the murder trial.
Yeah. But anything that has anything to do with media or marketing, the first place to start is Instagram, right?
Yeah, just because basically anyone's demographic is already online. So a lot of companies will try to figure out how to start marketing online. A lot of influencers will be contacted by brands who will be like, can you, do a video where you include our product and we'll give you $10,000 for a few videos. So it's really all social media led, like a lot of opportunity for growth there and for brands and just, personalities and whatnot is through there just because everyone's on it.
How effective is it? Like, how effective would you say, like, I know you did a lot of work for Kraft, you did a lot of videos for Kraft Dinner. How effective would you say that is as a mechanism for marketing?
I think pretty effective.
Really?
I think, yeah. For example, like our follower growth online, if you measure it through that, it was really effective because we gained a few, tens of thousands of followers through TikTok or Instagram within a year. So people are paying attention and they say, oh, that's a funny video that Kraft Dinner did. Next time they're at the grocery store, they'll be like, they'll see Kraft Dinner and they'll think, oh, that funny video I saw, oh, maybe I'll grab one of these. So. And
are companies, do they have people who are scouting the internet for people like you?
I would say yes.
Yeah,
I think there are a lot more people behind the scenes who are looking at what creators kind of fit our mold. Okay, let's target them.
Yeah.
There are also, these companies also have social media managers who look for what trend can we maybe do with the said person. So yeah, there's people whose jobs are literally just scroll through the depths of the internet and find the right person to market this product.
That job would be awful.
Yeah, wouldn't it though?
Wouldn't that be horrible? That would be a terrible,
yeah, literally doom scrolling.
Yeah. And so when the call came from CBC, were you delighted, surprised, shocked?
A mix of all three, I'd say. Because I had heard of Street Sense.
Yep.
At the time, I was happy with my job at Kraft, but I had also heard from a recruiter to always say yes to a conversation because you really never know what, lies ahead. So I was shocked in the sense I was like, oh, wow, CBC is reaching out to me. CBC wants me, in the door kind of thing, which was really cool. And then just the nature of the job itself of being a host and being on camera, it checked every box. So it was pretty
and loving what you do.
Yeah.
What's the old
Really
expression?
cool
if you
gig.
love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
It's awesome. Yeah.
So and you go into that big building in downtown Toronto.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
Which is filled with people who are creative and also famous and plugged in.
Yeah.
So that's a good place to be.
They're using some of those people or getting some of those people to groom Sam as well and mentor him, which is really cool. Like, who are some of the people they've got working with you now?
The most notable one that I've kind of gotten a chance to speak with and just kind of pick his brain is Tom Power, the podcaster. I got the chance to sit in on an interview that he did with a Canadian artist and just kind of seeing the way he thinks about his questions and the way that he's having a conversation with this guest is so interesting. So he's someone that I definitely would like to continue like speaking with. And
he's a great interviewer.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
Host of a program called Q on the CBC network. He's whenever he has a guest or whenever.
He's their biggest radio.
Yeah. The only radio I ever listen to be honest with you, is once in a while, if I'm in the car at 10 o'clock, I think, oh yeah, Q is on, and I'll listen to Tom Power because he's a very, very talented broadcaster.
Yeah. I've also gotten the chance to work pretty closely with Bob Babinski. He's been really good he's been kind of guiding me in terms of, when I'm making my content and what can really, what to, make sure you got your hook and then kind of explain it. And then because he's a performance coach, right? So he's teaching me a lot about performance, and he would even help me dissect like my own podcast and my style as an interviewer and whatnot. So
it's the kind of stuff you cannot learn at university. Like, it's such a great, where you've landed is amazing.
Yeah.
It must feel great.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah. And university, like, I can learn some technical skills.
Yeah.
So, but I think the personality part of it has to be natural. So, but now through university, I was able to learn how to edit and how to do a lot of other technical stuff.
Yeah. You can learn skills. I was talking about this in the car this morning. You can learn skills of, how to edit and how lighting works and all of those things. But what a lot of people that go into broadcasting don't do is they don't study the mechanics of it. There's I don't want to use the word science because that's a little bit nuts, but there's there's mechanics to being a good interviewer, understanding how to make your guest comfortable, how you interact with people on camera. That, to me, that's stuff that you can't learn in school.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a different media world.
It is.
Than when we started out.
Is.
That Sam has moved into. Like he said, he's got his own podcast as well called Birdcore. He had a guest on last week, his friend Logan McMullen, who you and Logan have known each other since they were in diapers. They grew up down the street from each other.
Yeah.
And Logan's a software engineer, and he made a really good point about AI, artificial intelligence. Logan said that, how did he put it, Sam? He said his degree is being
automated away.
Like in real time, he's watching his degree in software engineering become obsolete. But he said instead of fighting it, he's embracing it, and he's using it to make himself a more effective software engineer. And I think that's the way to go with AI. You can't fight it. You got to embrace it. And how big is AI in what you do, or how big will it be in the future?
So far, it's mostly in the research of what content we might be making. Personally, I don't use AI when it comes to editing. I'll use AI when it comes to if we're doing, for example, a lot of the videos we do at work is a $5 lunch challenge. Yeah. So we would just kind of ask AI like, okay, what grocery store around? Like we'd use it like Google. That's
when you're editing, do you use your gut?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good for you.
And that's good for you. That's a big part of why I typically don't rely on AI because I could use it for editing. I could upload a whole hour-long podcast and ask AI to make me 5 clips of, the moments where we laughed the hardest. Yeah. But I personally just like to go in and do it myself.
I think that's smart.
Yeah, it's ear, feel, and gut, and he's building his gut. You can hear it.
Yeah.
We should mention Sugar Sammy because Sugar Sammy is on tour and is a proud sponsor of the Standing By podcast. And I think, did you bring a clip?
I did bring a clip, of Sammy's first, one of his first shows on the current 22-city U.S. tour. He opened in Miami last week and weekend, and I think there was a Quebecer in the crowd. I think there's a woman named Manon who's in the crowd.
In Miami.
And
definitely not from Miami.
No, and she's with her husband.
Manon.
She's with her husband, and Sammy does a little bit of crowd work with them, and then another woman chimes in, and hilarity ensues.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
Catching Homewreckers, it's called.
So, Angela, what do? You work, obviously. Are you busy?
I'm not working right now.
Right now, I'm not working. I got people doing that for me. Yeah, I don't even cut my hair. I don't go to the office. Look at his hair. He's got like that Italian model hair. Look at his hair. Look at Manon's like, this is why he's sexy. Because the Italian hair. Say again? Yeah, sexy. Okay. His wife's right there. You slut. His wife is right. Yeah, sexy, Bob.
That's Sammy working the crowd at the Improv in Miami. Tomorrow night he's going to be in Orlando, and I know for a fact that there's going to be a Quebecer there, or former Quebecer there, Jocelyn Bro, who sent us an email this week and said, I'm going to see Sammy on February 12th in Orlando. So I sent Sammy a note saying, just so you know,
sent you somebody.
Yeah. You're going to have a Quebecer in the crowd. So I'll be interested to hear whether or not he engages her. Sammy, as I mentioned, on a 22-city U.S. tour. Tickets are already on sale for his 2027 Canadian tour. I know he's back in Montreal in the fall of 26, and then we'll continue that Canadian tour into 27. Go to sugarsammy.com for ticket information. Sam Bird did his first stand-up comedy set last week at Yuck Yucks in Toronto.
Look at these dates, by the way. He's added dates in Los Angeles and Phoenix and all kinds of places. And I know we have a listener who's going in Seattle on March 28th.
That's right, yeah.
We're sending Sammy our international fans. SugarSammy.com is a great place to get an idea if you've never seen him before, by the way. Your stand-up went well?
It did, yeah. I mean, I'd like to think it went well.
Were you terrified?
Surprisingly, no. I was kind of nervous, like waiting to go up, but then once I got up there, the nerves all went away.
Wow!
And he did crowd work right out of the gate.
Oh, cripes!
First time ever on stage at a comedy club.
Wow! How did you approach it, Sam? Did you have like a locked-in 5-minute set?
I did, yeah.
You did, eh?
So I'm taking a stand-up class at Second City currently, and our homework a few weeks back was to come with a 5-minute story.
Okay.
So I wrote my story and I performed it for my class, and it went well. So I inquired at a few different open mics in the city, and Yuck Yucks had this amateur night. So I emailed a few weeks back, and then I got on the lineup for February 3rd. It was this past Tuesday, and I just used that story, and I felt prepared also, which I think helped with the nerves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got up there and I kind of like blacked out a little bit.
And Ben Bankus was there.
Oh shit! You're kidding? Wow.
Yeah, because he was headlining at Yuck Yucks the following couple of nights. So he came in and just did a guest spot. So Sam's very first stand-up set was with Ben Bankus in the crowd. How's that for intimidating?
Did you know he was there?
No, I knew he was going to be there in the week, but I think it was like the
you knew he was there once you were up on stage. You just didn't know he was coming, right?
I didn't. No one knew he was coming. He kind of just walked in and then did like a 5-minute guest spot, but I didn't know that he would be there that night.
It's kind of fascinating to me because it's the same thing for you, I think. Podcasting or being on camera versus standing in front of people with a light shining on you. That couldn't be more different. A lot of people used to say to me, well, what are you nervous for? You talk to, 100,000 people every morning. And I said, yeah, but I'm in a box with a microphone by myself. It's not people looking at you going, make me laugh. It's a bit terrifying.
Conversely, though, sometimes stand-up comics over the years in radio, we've had stand-up comics in the studio who were nervous being on the radio because they're used to the instant audience reaction, right?
Such a different skill set.
So they're out of sorts because it's a different dynamic for them.
Would you pursue that, Sam?
I think so, yeah. I would, I was having this conversation with my dad in the car on the way here I can kind of use stand-up like I don't need to rely on it. Yes. I have a job and I have an income doing stuff that I love. So stand-up for me is like, okay, let's see what this is all about.
It's another bullet in the chamber.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you, as you work more in television, can you see yourself going down that path?
Television? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Television, like I would love to do, TV and movies and whatnot.
Because it's hard to differentiate because Street Sense is a CBC television show that's on the internet now, right? The platform is the internet.
Yeah, it's all TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah. So if people want to find it, what do they do? Just Google Street Sense?
Yeah, Street Sense, and then Sense is CENTS because the money angle. And there's a little...
Yeah, it started out as I thought it was a great
premise. The theme of the show
premise.
is to help younger people be smart with their money.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was aimed at kids, all the way back to Jonathan, what's his name?
Torrance.
Jonathan Torrance.
Yeah, it launched his career. Basically.
Yeah, it did. And it was at a time when you could only listen to the radio or watch television. It was pre-internet. And it was a show that was aimed at trying to make kids more financially aware. And it's a premise that I think still works today.
I'd say, yeah. I think a lot of the comments we get are like, "Oh, this. I didn't know this food hack or this money saving hack." Or yeah.
I have to say, some of the stuff you come up with is really gross. How could anybody put that in their mouth?
Well, sometimes when I'm eating it, I'm thinking the same thing. Like we had in the summer, we did an ice cream sandwich challenge, and I had a scoop of ice cream in between 2 slices of garlic bread.
Christ.
Yeah, and I'm trying to sell it, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, it's a good idea because of this.
Like we should clarify for if people haven't seen it. The three of you will go on a challenge to find lunch under $5, or what are tell me some of the challenges and some of the most memorable ones.
Well, one that we did recently was we were trying to find the sweetest orange.
Okay.
So the three of us each had to go find an orange, and we had to base it. Like my goal was I had to find the heaviest orange to see if that was the sweetest. Leanne's goal was to find the most orange to see if that was the sweetest. And Hannah's goal was to find the orange with the smallest booty hole, which is the term. It's the term. And I'm thinking like, wow, we're putting this out on the internet. Like that's work. You know what I mean?
It's that's what you're doing for a living.
It's so fun. Yeah. That's been a great one.
Yeah.
We did a long form YouTube video that's currently being edited where we were taste testing different fast food chain chocolate chip cookies.
Okay.
Which is, I won't spoil the winner, but it was not Mr. Sub. I'll tell you that. And then $5 lunch challenge is always a good one.
Yeah, that's a great one. You've come up with some really gross combinations for that one.
Yeah. Well, I got to give credit to our producers as well. Like they do all the research and they make the list of, okay, you're going to go hit this grocery store and look for this, but that might not work. So instead try this item and whatnot. So it's a real team effort to put it all together.
And how many people are watching these videos?
YouTube will get between, honestly, some videos can get 50,000 views and some can get 1 million.
Yeah.
So it's really in that ballpark. It depends on, our audience loves our challenge videos. Those get the most views.
Yeah.
And then on TikTok, we've started this series where we're doing like an office style kind of video. So it looks like an episode of The Office with the confessionals and whatnot. And those get, no more than 300,000 views, but typically they'll sit around like the 80,000.
Is the audience international? Are you getting people from all over the world watching?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Our last TikTok got 400.
Bragger.
Sorry, I don't mean to brag.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating thing because it's a little scary to me because when we were in the radio business, we lived and died by ratings, but we'd have to wait to get those numbers. And, the night before we wouldn't sleep, the numbers would come out and then we'd have another job. We'd have a job for another 6 months because the ratings usually were good. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But you get them right away.
Oh, yeah.
So as soon as a video goes out, whether it's shit the bed or not.
Yeah, typically after an hour or two where we say, this one's going to fly the moon or like, okay, it's done.
And how does that affect what goes on between the crew? Like the whole Street Sense crew, do you learn lessons from it? Does everybody want to jump out a window? Like how do you react to that?
Definitely learn lessons.
Yeah.
We're lucky enough where we can be so flexible with our content and, we're so supported by the CBC Kids team that we can always go try new things if something doesn't work.
Yeah.
So we don't really need to rely on the numbers in order to, like you mentioned, like you got a job for the next 6 months because it did well. We don't need to really rely on that.
You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, thankfully the numbers are always pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's also, we just have the freedom to, let's try this thing now or, so.
This leads into one of the things I wanted to mention this week. Ted, are you familiar with Top Gear, the show Top Gear, the car show, right? James May, Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond. These guys, they dominated the automotive landscape for years and years and years. Jeremy Clarkson got fired from BBC, and that kind of spoiled the show. They went to Amazon and made hundreds of millions of dollars with Amazon. They've all since retired. Excuse me. BBC tried to replicate Top Gear without those three. Bombed. It didn't work. Nobody could replicate the chemistry with these guys. And Amazon announced last week or the week before, there's a new Grand Tour coming with new hosts. And I thought gearheads would like this and probably already know about it, but I wanted to mention it because I thought it was a cool story. It's being relaunched on Amazon with 3 new hosts. 2 of them, Thomas Holland and James Engelman, are from Toronto. And they come from YouTube. They run. Are you familiar with these guys, Sam?
No.
And are they Canadians or transplanted Brits?
They're Canadians. One of them
yeah.
has a British accent, but they're Canadian guys from Toronto. They have this YouTube show called Throttle Hour that has over 3 million.
I used to do that. It was a long time ago. Yeah, that's how we ended up here.
This is a different Throttle, I think.
Yeah.
They had over 3 million subscribers, and it drew the attention of the producer that produced the Grand Tour. And they've hired these guys and added, I don't know if you know this guy named Francis Bourgeois. He's a British guy who's a train freak. And he has this Instagram account that has hundreds of thousands of followers. And he goes down to the train platform and he would say, the new diesel X4 through will be coming by here. And he puts a GoPro on his head and the train goes by and he goes, Are you familiar with this guy,
Yeah,
Sam?
I know the guy you're talking about.
He's like so quirky. I was fascinated by him, so I followed his account. He's like a train junkie, I guess is the way you describe him, eh?
Yeah, exactly. And that's such a niche thing
Yeah.
to be obsessed with. And
Well, there are a lot of people who are obsessed with trains.
Yes.
Like there are some real train freaks out there.
Yeah, and this guy, he's kind of awkward and he's kind of gangly.
That's funny.
And when he puts the GoPro on his forehead, it looks like he has a giant giraffe nose kind of thing. And then the train goes by and he does the whole. Anyway, they've hired him as the 3rd host.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's going to be one of the new hosts of the new Grand Tour on Amazon. And I thought it was fascinating because it all came from the internet. All of it. These guys are all going to be, rich and working for Amazon because they all started on YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah, and their audience will follow too.
They will,
Yeah,
Sam?
that's why the show will probably be a success because they'll have 3 million subscribers
Right
plus.
from the get-go.
Yeah,
They'll have a built-in audience.
Exactly.
Anyway, if you're a Top Gear fan or a Grand Tour fan, I thought I would mention that story. I love the story because the Francis Bourgeois, the guy, he's from Britain, but the other 2 guys are from Toronto. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's funny. I'm gonna have to watch that.
Throttle Hour is
Fun,
it is fun,
as I recall.
Yeah. Does it go on for an hour though?
No.
Throttle Minute with Ted Bird.
Yeah. Poor Sam.
Yeah, sorry, Sam.
Sorry, Sam.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm a grown up.
It was Throttle Hour was really high production. I don't know where the money came from, but really, really high production. Really, really well done. You can watch it on YouTube. I also wanted to mention. I told the story of the guys at The Main. You and I are both subscribers of an online magazine called The Main. If you're a Montrealer or an ex-Montrealer, highly recommend it.
You should subscribe to The Main, Sam. You'd like it.
You'd love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 news stories this week in The Main that I liked. Really fascinating story on the 1976 Olympics and how it affected Montreal. Fascinating history piece. And a story about, I know this sounds boring, but there's a company called Kavanaugh Auctions in NDG. It's a family-run auction house, and I read the story. Fascinating story of the family and bidding online and buying stuff at auction. It's really, really a cool
Do they do
story.
live auctions? Like,
I think
I'd go to that just to listen to those guys.
Jeez, you sound just like an auctioneer. Maybe you'll get discovered.
I'll open up my own YouTube channel, auctioneering.
Anyway, it's in the main. It's an online magazine that Ted and I love, and we're working on getting the founders of that magazine on an episode.
We better take care of some sponsors before we get too backlogged.
Yes.
Are you buying Sham anything for Valentine's Day?
Yes.
We could stop at Robert Reish Jewelers on the way home, and you could buy her something today before you get on the train. And as an added bonus, a free box of Lindt chocolates with Valentine's Day gift purchases from Robert Reish Jewelers on Dorval Avenue in Dorval. You know the Riches, right?
Of course,
You've been in there,
Yeah, I got my ear pierced there. For the first
did you?
time.
Oh, I didn't know
Did
that.
you really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, in
So
grade
you know
5.
what great people they are. You know the commercial. They really are terrific folks. That's our favorite thing about them. I mean, they have great products and great service, but the Riches are so nice. Linda and Pierre and Carol, go visit them on Dorval Avenue in Dorval, whether you buy anything or not. It's just, it's a great place to go in. And as Terry likes to say, you don't have to be intimidated.
No.
Just because they got big honking expensive diamonds, they got so much more than that. You don't have to drop a fortune to buy a nice Valentine's Day gift or a gift for any occasion at Robert Reish Jewelers. They're at 309 Dorval Avenue in Dorval, right across from the
Clip Clop store.
That's right.
I don't know.
So you can knock off two purchases at the same time. Get a big honking diamond ring and a Clip Clop.
You know when you have a nice interaction with people, that's what you don't even have to go buy something.
Yeah.
Just go see them. You'll have a nice interaction with some lovely people.
And you'll get a free chocolate.
It would help.
Even if you don't get the box of Lindt chocolates, they've got Lindt chocolates at the door waiting for you. You can have one when you go in.
Yeah. That's Robert Reish Jewelers. And our friends at the Mersons are also sponsors of this program. This is the time of the year where they're maybe a little bit quieter, although...
This is the time of the year when the car goes...
yeah.
Or it just goes...
Yeah. If your car goes... you should go see the Mersons.
Well, listen, here's what you should do is you should go get your oil changed.
Yeah.
You can, that's a good idea at any time.
Yeah.
And until the middle of March, Mersons are offering a free mini inspection with your oil change, and the mini inspection includes a battery check.
Yeah.
And when the weather is like the weather has been the last several days, if your car sits for any length of time, your battery's going to die. Charlie had that. My other son, Charlie, had that happen with his car. It sat for 2 or 3 days in minus 20 weather. Battery was dead as a nit.
Yeah.
Charlie's smart. He keeps charging cables in the car, so he was able to charge it up and run it for a little while, and now it's fine. And I know that because I'm driving it, because he said, "Hey, Dad, can I have your car?" And I said, "Oh, okay." And so now I've got the beater.
Okay,
yeah, but
right.
It's fun to drive, and it's running like a top because he took care of his battery. Go to the Mersons. They'll take care of you, whatever your automotive needs. Tires are their specialty, but they do all of the rest. And as we've said many times, if there's anything they can't handle, they're plugged in the industry. They'll send you somewhere where it can be handled and to another automotive expert who you can trust.
Just past the corner of Saint Jacques and Cavendish, where they've been there for a very, very long time. You can find them online. You can also phone them. They answer the phone, which is an odd thing these days.
Say hi to Val. 514-487-5545, Merson Automotive. Can we do the tweet sheet?
We sure can.
I'm very excited about the tweet sheet this week. Yeah. I was going to tell Sam about it yesterday, but he said, no, save it for the podcast. Okay. I said, oh, that's right. You're going to be on.
All right. Okay,
the
good.
funny from Twitter this past week from @BitsyDimbo, a catapult, but for pies. I think that was the main weapon of mass destruction in the War of the Stooges, if I recall.
I love that.
From @ShitBiscuit. A piano fell on my head, and now all the keys are sticking out of my mouth like Daffy Duck.
You have to be a Bugs Bunny aficionado to get that one, I guess.
The name, too, Shit Biscuit. Yeah. And from @Jesse Case, she could tighten up that triple axle, I mumbled at the television, cracking open my second sleeve of Oreos. There's a guy on social media, I think he's on TikTok and Instagram, who does clips like that. He's a British guy.
Yeah.
And he's fat guy, big gut on him, and he'll play a clip of someone failing magnificently at some sporting event, like the agony of defeat guy.
Yeah.
He'll play the video, and then he'll cut to him sitting on the couch eating chips with his big gut hanging out, going, "What a fucking loser!"
I do. I like the shit biscuit.
That one reminded me of Joe Namath and his teeth.
Oh yeah,
You're talking about the piano and then
yeah. What's that guy's name? The Trivago guy, the new Trivago guy, Jurgen Klopp.
Jurgen Klopp.
He's a famous soccer
famous
coach
manager.
Or something?
He managed Liverpool to much success and then walked away. And I'm not sure if at some point he had his teeth done.
He must have. Those can't be real.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes my buddy Blair Bartram was telling me the story last night of somebody that he knew that had them done, and that when they're first done, they're like distracting.
Yeah,
you know, they're it's like someone turns the lights on.
Yeah, well, that's all I see when I watch Trivago commercials are his teeth. But it works because I associate him with Trivago.
Yeah, well, that's good branding, right, Sam?
I'd say, yeah.
Okay. Can you explain or explore for me the cultural differences of living in Toronto versus Montreal? Like I watch online and I get all of the stuff about changing names of places and, you know, taking down statues and streetcar lanes and bike lanes and, you know, all the chaos. Because I know you live right in the city, don't you?
Pretty much.
Does it affect you in any way, all of those shenanigans?
Not really where I live, because I'm in the city, but I'm in a bit of a quiet pocket in the city, which is nice. The only thing we really hear is like fire trucks and ambulances.
Yeah,
and,
like any big city.
Yeah. But no, thankfully we live in a pretty quiet place within the city. But I mean, touching on the difference between cultures, I guess, is I grew up like in the West Island here in a very English suburb. And now I'm living downtown, and there's all sorts of different people from different walks of life.
Yeah.
And I think Toronto's like, I was so not exposed to that growing up here.
Are you talking about different cultures and different?
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, even like dating a Middle Eastern girl now, I know so much about like her culture, and I'm trying all sorts of different foods. I'm trying to even learn like Farsi and whatnot, just because, again, growing up here, there wasn't a lot of that for me. Like I wasn't exposed to it, or maybe I didn't do enough of like trying to learn more about it. But
I know you're bilingual, so do you have acumen for languages? Farsi sounds to me like something that's a long hill to climb, wouldn't it be?
Yeah. I only know a few words just from like being at family gatherings.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say I'm quite trilingual just yet.
Can you tell me a Farsi word?
Yeah, sure. So I could, if I were to ask you like, how are you? I would say, you know, salam, which is hi. And then khubi, which is like, are you good? How are you? Okay. And then you would say back, khubam, shama khubi, which means, I'm good. Are you good? Kind of thing. So that's all I can say. So I'm at family functions asking people how they are, and that's it.
And how's the food?
Delicious.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Got a new favorite?
Kubide is my favorite, which
What's that?
it's basically, it's like a not a ground beef, but like a beef skewer.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. And I even like eating tomatoes now, which I typically didn't.
Is that right?
Yeah. Because they do tomatoes really well.
What is it? Hubi?
The food?
No, hello, how you doing? The comment ça va?
Oh yeah. What is it? I just said it.
Yeah, I know.
Khubi.
Okay, Khubi.
Yeah.
I like that because it's kind of it's much shorter.
Yeah. How close is Farsi to Arabic?
I think quite close. They share a few words. Yeah. I don't know.
Sam's girlfriend is Persian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you say, like, when I was 26, I was living in Montreal that was much different than it is now, and man, was it fun. Was it a great place to live? And did we do a lot of stuff that I couldn't do anymore? We just had a fucking ball. Mm-hmm. Would you say Toronto is like that? Like, as a young man who's in his mid-20s, good place to be?
Yeah. I'm lucky enough where I kind of roll with the circle that is very like-minded, and you know, fun stuff for us is, for example, going out and like shooting videos, and I hang out with a lot of creative people, so we're making sketches and whatnot, and there's other fun stuff too, like going out and whatnot. Yeah, maybe not I think I used to do that more when I first moved, but now not as much. But it is still good for that.
A lot of the guys who you hang out with and a lot of the sketches you make, like it's quality stuff. They post the stuff on YouTube, and it's really funny and well-produced content. And I guess my question is, how do you, like, why do you do it? Because there's no financial payoff for it, at least not in the short term. And how do you, or have you figured out how to cut through the clutter on the internet with funny content? Because there's so much of it.
Yeah, cutting through the clutter is definitely the hardest part, which we haven't quite figured out just yet. But
can you figure it out? I don't even know if you can. Like when your dad and I first started to talk about doing the podcast, I said, I don't know what the point is. We're just going to get lost. There are 4 million podcasts on the planet.
But we're lucky. We've got a built-in fan base from our radio days.
Right.
And you were smart when you said, let's just do a podcast about Montreal.
Right.
Because that's what our built-in fan base
and
relates to.
there is a slow, small growth to the podcast.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to achieve also. Not like us, much bigger than us, but that's kind of the point, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing, especially when you haven't quite cut through the clutter, is just consistency. I just need to continue putting out content, and the randomest stuff will go viral.
Right.
And then I'll get a few, maybe 100 followers off a clip that goes viral. And then
you're talking about with your podcast.
Yeah, my podcast, or even sketches and whatnot.
Because your CBC stuff, your Street Sense stuff, because you have CBC as a platform, you're getting tens, if not hundreds of thousands of views on the content that you appear in there. But then on your own podcast, you're fighting the same battle that we fight in terms of trying to cut through the clutter.
Exactly, yeah. And that's why I just kind of try to keep putting stuff out.
Do you think people that are seeing you on Street Sense, you probably know this already, are going looking for you online?
Yeah.
So that's got to be helpful.
Yeah, I think it definitely it does help. I had a few people follow based off of Street Sense. I had one clip of my podcast go semi-viral, and people were commenting, "Street Sense guy, what are you doing with the podcast? What are you doing here?"
Right.
So that was cool.
Street Sense.
Sense guy,
Are you getting recognized?
Yeah, I got recognized a few times out in public.
How did you react to that? What was that like the first couple of times?
It was like in the back of my head, I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool."
Yeah.
But like on the surface level, I was like, "Oh, what's up? I'm Sam. Nice to meet you," kind of thing.
Right.
The guy wanted to like take a selfie. I was like, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Did it take a second to click? Did it take a second for you to go, wait a minute, I'm on TV now. This guy recognizes me. Not TV, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it did. And then after the fact, it really clicked even more. I was like, wow, I wonder, like, this can just happen at any time now.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool.
Do you notice people looking at you sometimes? Have you got there yet?
Not yet. Maybe I'm not like aware of my surroundings enough, but I think actually there have been times where the three of us have been together, the three hosts, and we're out at a mall or we're out in the street, and sometimes if there's a bit of a younger demographic in that area, I'll notice us getting looked at.
Yeah.
People have said before to the three of us, "Oh, I've seen you on YouTube."
Yeah.
That's happened on a few occasions. So
and you've done didn't you do an event? Your dad told me you did an event was it for a school?
Yeah. Yeah, what was the school event that you did? I think you did a number of them, did you not? You did a bit of a tour, no?
Yeah, we've done a few events where we go to high schools and we have a Street Sense board game that we'll play with these high schools.
Yeah.
But there was also an event that was put on by this woman, Bridget Trong, who's a friend of mine. She threw this event called Rally in Toronto at Meridian Hall, which is a pretty big hall in downtown Toronto. And it was about just teaching, Gen Z young adults about just digital literacy. So there were a bunch of high schools there, and we had a stage show where we were up on stage playing a game with the crowd. So I think that is what you're referring to.
Were you taken back by that? Because it was quite popular, eh? It was quite a crowd.
Yeah. It was a pretty big crowd. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But I think that I've done I've done a good amount of performing in front of a crowd, in whatever sense it might be, improv or just speaking or whatnot. And I think that even goes into why I was comfortable doing stand-up.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at, Sam, is when you go to an event and there's an event planned and you peek from backstage and look out at the crowd and go, holy shit, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not I'm nervous, but what we're doing is drawing all these eyeballs.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
It's a fascinating thing.
Yeah.
I think.
And it creates good nervous energy,
Yeah.
I think. You know, some people say, are you nervous? Like if I do stand-up,
Yeah.
people say, are you nervous? Yeah, but it's good nervous.
Yeah, I was in the radio game for a long, long time, and I got butterflies every morning right till the very end.
Yeah.
Right till the very end.
In
of
my
career.
experience, when you don't have butterflies
Yeah.
or a little bit of nervous energy,
Yeah.
that's when you're in trouble.
And
I
I-
can recall going up on stage for stand-up comedy shows and thinking to myself, yeah, I'm going to kill this. And then I walk out and get crickets.
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah, I always thought they were an asset because I thought it was a byproduct of how much I loved what I did
And cared about.
and cared about
you
what I
did,
was
yeah.
doing. Yeah. Let's take a moment to tell you about my friends at Acute. I was telling you last week. Maybe it was last week. It could have been 100 years ago about the folks at Acute. You don't always think about I need an electrician. Because, you know, when you go home and the lights are on and everything is fine, you don't think about, oh, shit,
It's
I
a
need an
given.
electrician.
Yeah.
You take it for granted. But when, you know, you plug in the toaster and the TV goes off or you smell a funny smell coming from the panel, you think, oh, God damn, I need an electrician. When that day comes, always remember this name, Acutech, Acutech. As I like to say, they know what this wire does. And they are a family-run company that have been at it since 1995. They love what they do. They know what they're doing. They've got a great crew. And Tom and Trish have been looking after clients, both commercial clients and
Residential,
industrial
industrial.
clients. Yeah, all of it. Like if you've bought a strip mall and you need new lighting, they can do that. If you've bought a home and you didn't get inspected because you wanted to make sure you won the bidding war, they can take care of that too. And if you have any kind of electrical problem, they can do that. And they're top-notch people when it comes to installing generators.
And if you're a designer or an architect or a contractor and you're looking for an electrician to partner with, they're open to that as well.
Acutech, Acutech.ca. I'm going to get to some recommendations. Sam, what do you do in terms of, it's a new world and so many things are competing for your time. Like when I was working, I would go home and watch what I had recorded on the PVR. And that sounds like it's 1955, but it doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
VCR.
Yeah, VCR. And I watched things because I wanted to stay in tune with popular culture, and I tried to watch, like I would have watched, if I had still working on the radio, I would have made sure that I watched Bad Bunny because I knew that would be a topic of. Anyway, this is my typical long-winded way of getting into. Is there any television that you watch? Are there things that you enjoy, or is it all online stuff?
Definitely the majority is probably online, whether it's through TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I don't need to click the news when I'm at home because I'll go to work and there's
you're
4
at
billion.
the news.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Currently, I'm trying to watch all the Best Picture nominations ahead of the Oscars. So I've been on a bit of a movie binge recently.
Have anything impressed you?
I really liked One Battle After Another.
So
I watched that twice. And then I watched Marty Supreme twice as well.
Did you like that?
I did, yeah.
I liked it for the first hour and then I hated it.
Yeah, it's very like edge of your seat the whole time and almost like anxiety inducing.
Timothée Chalamet is such a good actor, but that was such an unlikable character.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I understand like the whole like he's admirable because he's a real hustler, but he's also a real hustler like in the bad
Yeah, he's got no moral compass.
Yeah, but I thought he did great. Aside from that, I mean Sham likes to watch reality TV, so right now we're watching the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Okay.
We already finished the Real Housewives of New Jersey, so if you have any questions about that, I'll fill you in. So,
do you watch Below Deck?
No, but it's on Hey You or
Below Deck. But that's the garbage TV in our house. We love Below Deck.
Yeah.
Do you watch any Netflix shows or any of that? No,
I
just
always
don't have time. I bet, eh?
Yeah. I probably could if I really, before bed watch an episode and if I wanted to follow a show, but I always say I got to watch that show or I got to watch this show, and then I
don't have time.
I don't get around to it. No.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of time for television when we were in our mid-20s, did we?
No, not a lot at all. No.
I wanted to mention these. Des is a show with David Tennant, and it's the story of Dennis Nielsen, who was a serial killer in Britain in the 1970s. I think he murdered 17 young men, or he was charged with. Anyway, it's a fascinating story that I didn't realize existed, and I'm glad I didn't, to be honest with you, because he was killing a lot of, young men in their 20s.
Like a John Wayne Gacy type of affair?
Yeah, it was kind of the British John Wayne Gacy.
Right.
And he was chopping them up and putting their head, and it's not a gruesome show, but it's a fascinating story, and it's really wonderfully acted. But it's on BritBox, so you have to have BritBox to get it. David Tennant is amazing in it. Jess and I loved it. I think the absolutely best thing on television in the last 10 years is Shrinking. It's on Apple TV. It's
Harrison Ford?
It's Harrison Ford and an unbelievable cast. It's so beautifully written, beautifully acted. It's a Bill Lawrence show. Bill Lawrence was behind Scrubs and so many other really quirky, fun television pieces, and he's at the peak of his powers on Shrinking. It's so good. I can't recommend it enough. It's on Apple TV. And if you've seen Lucy Etby on Netflix, it's the story of a nurse who was accused of killing babies in a pediatric hospital. It's
geez, you're full of pick-me-ups this week.
Yeah. we like the documentaries. It's a documentary, but I'm not recommending it because I just want to tell you, if you're tempted to watch it, it's a story that's not finished. So you get to the end and it has no real conclusion. So I wanted to mention that so you don't watch it.
I have a music recommendation.
Yes, please.
Never heard of him before the Grammys.
Yes.
And he's all I've listened to since. Youngblood.
Oh, he's talented. Ozzy Osbourne loved him.
Yes.
Him and Ozzy
he loved Ozzy.
Yeah, they're good friends.
Yeah. He's an old soul.
He sure is.
Yeah, you listen to his music. He does a cover of the Kiss song, I Was Made for Loving You.
Yeah.
Which that's not a musical opus, that song, It's got a nice hook, and they put it in the water, and the Kiss Army went for it like sharks after chub, right? But he takes this song and gives it a bit of a Bohemian Rhapsody treatment.
Yeah.
Like it's got tempo changes and piano and he just I was listening to it and I went, fuck, I know that song. Yeah. What a great song. I know that song.
He's
and then
talented.
I looked at him,
this kid
that's that fucking Kiss piece of shit. And he made it sound great. And I hear elements of Ozzy and I hear elements of Freddie Mercury and I hear elements of Prince and Beck and Steven Tyler. He does a bunch of collaborations with Aerosmith. And they're all absolute home runs. And then I watched him. What's Bill Maher's podcast?
Club Random.
Yes.
Yes.
He was on that podcast.
Yeah, Bill Maher loves him.
Back in October.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely great, except I wish Bill Maher would not get drunk and high
he doesn't,
during the podcast because he gets in his own way.
Well, he interrupts everybody.
Yes.
The guest has to be somebody I really want to, that's, because I get aggravated when I listen to Bill Maher.
And that's what he does with Youngblood, whose real name is Dominic Harrison, and who's an absolute hoot.
Yeah.
He's 28 years old. He's from somewhere around Manchester in Britain.
Doncaster.
He's a real, he's a real bloke. He's a real, that's fucking bollocks, that ain't it? Yeah. He's one of those kinds of Brits.
That would have been a good back sell on that Kiss song on Show 'em. Here's that fucking piece of shit. Are you familiar with Youngblood, Sam?
Yeah, I know Youngblood. I personally haven't listened to, I don't think I've ever purposely put on a Youngblood song. But I know who he is. Yeah.
He's really talented.
How do you discover new music?
Honestly, I feel like I don't even go out looking for new artists or anything. It's just the artists that I follow, they're putting out new music. And then, if I put it on random, then Spotify, the way it does it is it'll play another random song. So that's kind of how I'll save that song.
Yeah.
But I know that new music typically comes out on most Fridays. So sometimes I'll throw on that playlist. But Aside from that, I kind of just stick to the basics, or I'll have someone, send a song in a group chat, and then I'll get hooked on that artist. And
it's funny because radio used to be the funnel. Radio was they were the concierge or the sommelier of what was new and that's how we found our new music. Now it's like a fire hose of, I would imagine, do friends tell you got to listen to this or you heard this? Yeah.
Yeah. There's But even going back to, what you asked a little bit earlier about, I could find it on Instagram too.
Yes.
If an account I follow posts like something that an artist put out, I'll be like, I don't know who this artist is. Let me go check them out. And then I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
what I was thinking.
All right. Here's a guy who's out of gas. This podcasting thing, I'll tell you. Well, this has been fun. I enjoyed this. Thank you for coming, Sam.
Thank you guys for having me.
Let's do the tango. Let's whoop-de-doo. Let's
plug your podcast.
That's what I wanted to say. Let's tell people where they can find you.
They can find me personally, my
What's
socials.
your address?
Yeah. My socials are Sam Bird Ewell. It's Samuel with bird in the middle, I think.
Sam,
Get it?
Sam Bird Ewell.
Sam Bird, but Ewell like Christmas Ewell or
No, Y-U-E-L.
you what?
No, why? There's no Y in my name. You named me. Yeah.
Sam Bird U-E-L.
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 Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's
There
it's
he
on the
is.
screen. in
There
front
you
of
go.
us.
Thank you, Mano.
That's me.
Okay. All right.
And then my podcast is at Birdcore Show on TikTok and some of the other ones there.
See, I read that as Sam Birdewell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most people do. I think because I just put bird in the middle of Samuel. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
And you can see his CBC work at Street Sense.
Yeah,
Street Sense, C-E-N-T-S.
Let's go back to the podcast is
Birdcore.
Birdcore, C-O-R-E.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And Birdcore Show is, I guess, I got to figure that out, what the name really is.
Yeah. That's on Instagram, Birdcore Show?
Yeah. Birdcore
Okay.
Show on Instagram, on TikTok, and just Birdcore on YouTube.
Okay. And on CBC?
CBC Street Sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give it 5 years, he'll be real easy to find.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. CBC Street Sense, and again, it's a sense like the penny, like C-E-N-T-S. And that's going to be it for this episode, Ted.
That's going to be it for a little bit. Our next 2 episodes are in the can.
Yeah, it's
because you're going to be away on the beach.
Yeah,
I'll be here, very cold.
behind
but
the.
You enjoy that.
I will. I'll send you videos from the beach.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do my little live bulletins from
That's
the
a good
beach, like
idea.
I did last year.
That won't make me resentful at all.
Yeah. We want you to please go to terryandtedpodcast.com. Excuse me. That's a website where you can find the episodes. And I'm not sure why, but last week's episode has done extremely well.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
It seems to be more people finding the podcast and the episodes. Last week's was, I was afraid because I thought something was wrong for a minute.
No, well, you're doing your homework. You're reading all the notes that our executive producer, Jessica Dionne, has given to you to read at the end of the podcast. And I think those help.
Okay. So terryandtedpodcast.com is where you can find episodes. You can also go there if you want to send us a note. We got a little bit of email this week, but not a lot. And I say this every week. We read each and every note. We answer most of them. And we love to hear from you because I get a real kick out of hearing from people who are literally all around the planet. We're hearing from ex-Montrealers in places like Seattle and Pennsylvania and Philadelphia. And well, Philadelphia's in Pennsylvania, but you know what I mean.
The direct email address is standingbythepodcast@gmail.com.
And if you forget that, terryandtedpodcast.com is where you can link to an email. We'd like you to subscribe to the Standing By YouTube channel. There's a link right on our website that takes you there. And thanks for following along because we got a lot of subscribers last week. And it's a big, big help to us. So subscribe to the Standing By YouTube channel. It's Standing By the Podcast, or you just go to the website. You can follow us on social media, Facebook and Instagram and X. And we even put our videos up on TikTok. And I make fun of it because I don't think a lot of our audience is there. There's not a lot of boomers. We're boomers, they say.
I think technically,
yeah,
yes.
I don't know if they bottom end boomers. Like we were at the very tail end of the baby boom, late 50s.
All right. Do you have a disdain for boomers, Sam? I know you
Sam
don't.
doesn't have disdain.
You don't have
for
disdain
anybody.
for anybody.
No.
Yeah.
I love everyone.
But we are cause for great humor and
At your expense?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, we are, eh?
He had a great old man bird moment
please
on the way
do
here.
share.
Well, we were at the drive-through at Tim Hortons getting our coffee, and we're driving Charlie's manual car, right? So,
Yeah.
tick, tick, ding, 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 ding. And then the total was I think $5.56.
Yeah.
Dad pays with a $50. We get our coffee. Thank you very much, sir. Oh, tick, 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 tick. Almost forgot his like $45 in change.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have you had any with the
Installed
clutch?
it a couple of times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is. We can be the subject of some great entertainment.
Yeah, but typically it's like, oh, that's so cute.
How the hell did you forget
I don't know.
$45 of change?
Thanks a lot.
Where's reverse on this thing? Is it up?
It's
over and up.
over and back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how to drive a standard, Sam?
Not a clue.
Okay. You should learn. It's a great thing for when you'll be when you go to Europe on your yacht and you rent a car. You probably have to drive a standard.
Yeah. Well, also, if you drive a Bugatti, no, I was going to say,
Yeah.
but those are all paddles now. Those are all paddle
Yeah, that's
shifters,
true.
the high-end luxury cars.
You can follow us as I was saying, Facebook, Instagram, and X, and we're on the TikTok. I don't know why, but people are looking. And leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify because it helps us a lot. My thanks to Mano, who's in studio producing. Thank you, Mano. To the executive producer of the podcast, Jessica Dionne. To our guest, Sam Bird. And we have an audience today that we haven't introduced you to, but the voice of the podcast, who you are about to hear, is Blair Bartram, who's here with his wife, Karen, this weekend for the Superb Owl. Did you have fun, Blair?
Very good show.
Thank you very much. And thanks to you for downloading the podcast. I say it every week. There's millions of them, and I love that you've found us. We'll be back with another edition next week.
Standing by. The Terry and Ted podcast is hosted by Terry DeMonte and Ted Bird and is brought to you by the UPS Store Canada. The executive producer of Standing By is Jessica Dionne.